Welcome back to Anne's Stitch Collective. In this particular video we're going to explore a satin stitch. So all the stitches that we've done so far are quite decorative and quite open, but sometimes we want solid areas of stitch, and a satin stitch is just one of the stitches that's really good for that. So I've got myself a chalk pencil because I'm going to draw myself a shape first, and I'm going to show you two ways of doing a satin stitch. So you don't want your shapes to be too big. 1 to 2 centimeters is good, because if it gets too big you can end up snagging or pulling some of your threads. So I've got my thread and my needle, so you've got to choose which way around you want to do it, but it works really nicely on an angle when we're doing this particular stitch. So I'm just going to come up here, and it's basically a lot of straight stitches. So we're just going to go in and then come back up right next to the stitch that we've just done and pull that through. I'm going to lay that down right next to it, and we want to tuck them as close together as we can get them, and we're going round. Now I've done that one a little bit too far away, so if ever I do that I'll go back in. We're not always perfect. Back in the middle and just do an extra stitch there. There we go. So coming back up right next to where I've done. Now what I do is I hold my finger on the back just so that I run that thread through nice and smoothly. We don't want to cross them over. You want to get them right next to each other, so sometimes you need to use your needle just to give it a little bit of a wiggle. And don't pull your threads too tight. So there are quite a few different ways that you can do this. This is just using the shape, drawing a shape on, and then doing this stitch. Just long stitches, long satins, one after the other. Now this can be quite a quick way of creating a solid shape, but it does have its issues sometimes because it's not always easy to get it super neat on the edge. So I would use this one, say for example, if I'd got some small leaves or just abstract shapes that I wanted to work with. It does eat thread quite a lot because we're doing the same on the back as we are doing on the front. Now don't do what I used to do, which is think, oh, this is wasting a lot of thread. So I would do my stitch and then I'd go, oh, I'll go then, I'll just come back up next to it and go over. It doesn't actually create the satin. You want it, it's a bit like a pillow. So it's going to lift off the surface, and especially if you use a thread that's got a little bit of sheen to it, it can really add something to your piece. If you were doing something and you've got a variety of colours, if you've got a variegated thread, this can be a beautiful stitch because it will just change colour gradually as you are stitching. I'm just doing it in one colour, but there will be nothing to stop you from changing colours as you go along. So having that line is quite important, just so that, oops, that you know where you're going to go next. I've got a couple that are a little bit wide. Go. So I'd go back. I always have a just go back and just give it a bit of a finger press, and if you can see a little gap, it's not technically the way to do it, but I would just go back with my thread, just go between the two and just fit any bits in that need to fit in. So there's your basic satin stitch. So on the back it looks pretty much like what you've done on the front. Now to get it, if you want it to be a bit more accurate, and a little bit neater, then what you can do is give yourself a border first to then encase in your stitching. Oh, I don't know if you could hear that. I've got the birds singing. So I'm going to do another one here. I'll do a similar shape, a bit like a leaf shape. So what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do a little running stitch around the outside. So this could be a back stitch as well if you wanted to, but just sort of marks the edge of your piece, or your shape, sorry, I should say. Okay. Oh. That's just come back out the same hole, that's not ideal. Now this you're not going to see by the time I've finished because the stitches will be on the outside. But again, it just gives you something to work with, because not all fabrics you can draw on. So then again, start here. So I'm going to now go on the outside, right on the very outside of that running stitch, and then jump over the other one and then come back up, and it just gives us something then just to stitch around. And I think sometimes as well, just doing that running stitch, it just helps sort of lift it off the surface and creates a bit more of a cushion. But what you don't want is for this shape to be really massive, because it's really hard to keep the threads laying flat. Obviously, if you're doing something and you've got really chunky yarn, then yeah, by all means go for it. But on here I'm using the same thread so that you can just see what all the stitches look like in the same thread. Oops. So just having that stitch, can you see my edges are a little bit neater than just working to a pencil line. So this could be any shape, it doesn't have to be anything that's particularly botanical. But just think about the angle that you're going to stitch. And also by doing this where you're looping it round, you know that the thread's laying the same way. Whereas if I was going backwards, so as I was going here, going down, then coming up and going back, my thread wouldn't be lying in the same direction, so you wouldn't get the same effect. Because the thread that I'm using has got a little bit of a sheen to it. Another tip is don't work, even though it's a pain to keep rethreading your needle, don't work with a thread that's too long either. So you just end up getting yourself in a knot. So that stitch that I did initially, that running stitch, is disappearing because I'm wrapping it inside the satin stitch. But it's just giving me just a neater finish. Other things that you can do with a satin stitch is if you want it to lift right off the surface, you could cut a piece of fabric out and a little bit of fabric glue just to hold it in place, and then do the satin stitch over that, so it could be padded. So that's another nice way to work as well. There are other filling stitches, but I'm not going to go through those with this one because I just think a satin stitch is just quite a good basic one to use with the templates that I have, if that's what you're using this video as a reference for. There we go. There we go, 2 different satin stitches. Nice and neat. That one, probably a bit of a rougher edger, a bit of a rougher edge. That one's got a little bit of a neat edge, so you can sort of see the difference now with the more open stitches, and then you've got this lovely solid, so you get this lovely contrast between the two. So have fun with the satin stitch.